Didn't even cry one time. I do more during the week than I do on the weekends. Pam fixed her embroidery machine this morning. Flash it. Took my shirt and lifted it up, and like I didn't have a bra on, and wiggled it, and then I dropped it back down. Hi guys, so I just wanted to get on here just for a couple seconds while I switch out some hoop arms. I'm having to run the Ricoma since my Melco is on the fritz. So I got my new, I probably already said this in yesterday's vlog, but it's okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was missing a nut. It's okay, I got extras down here in this bag. But I am taking these off and putting on these. I had swapped it out. Originally I had these on here and those were on here, and so I don't use this hoop as much as that one, since I wasn't really running the Ricoma, and I hadn't run it in a while because the thread cutter stopped working on it. And for the most part, it stopped. It's hit or miss. Like sometimes it cuts, sometimes it doesn't. And so I'm just going to buy another cutter for that too. I looked it up, and I was like doing some research, and it was like one came with it, and so I was like, oh, I think one came with mine. And so I looked through everything, and I didn't see any extra thread cutter parts, and so I found a seller that has, like, I'm pretty sure it's the same person selling them, but they have them, they offer on Amazon. And it's like, you know, if you want to make sure it fits your machine, you can message me and I'll let you know. But I probably will still message them just to double check. But I looked, and the part they're selling looks exactly the same on the Ricoma. So, and it's like a $20 part. So I'm like, you know, it can't hurt to replace the cutter, and hopefully that's all it needs. I did check to make sure that it was attached on the back like somebody had mentioned before, and it was. But it's like, I told my husband also we are going to try to tighten it up maybe, because I said it was working and then it stopped working, and then it would cut. It's like hit or miss. And so I opened it back up and cleaned out the cutter, and then I was like, I pushed it. It was like I pushed it back like a smidge, like it was forward, and I was like cleaning it out, and I was like, why does it looked like it was really forward, like it's a cutter. Okay, it's hard to explain unless you have a Ricoma. So it's a cutter in there, right? And so actually it goes this way, and it has a little thing that it cuts against. So when you order the parts, you get this one and this one. And so it just, you know, it cuts the thing. Well, it was like, it seemed like it was really forward, and I pushed it and it went back a little bit. And then after that it started working. So my husband's like, well, maybe it's just loose. And I was like, maybe it is. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to put those arms back on here. just because I'm not going to use this hoop that I know of anytime soon. So I'm just going to leave that in there. And I'll just put these Melco arms in this baggie because I use this hoop a lot on the Melco, so I probably should invest in another one of these hoops, which is this is a 9x6 Mighty hoop. They're really good for onesies, and so anyway, I probably will invest in another one of these. But I was talking to Mandy. I think I did tell you guys about my idea about getting another Melco. So, you know, I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, I can understand, you know, needing another machine in case one goes out. I'm lucky I have the Racoma, because that's what I'm having to use right now. But I still think another Melco, trade this in and get another Melco like this and have them both set up in here. I think that would be very beneficial. But I didn't film anything because I've been basically, we went out for lunch. Papa wanted to buy us all lunch, and so we went to the Beacon. That's where he wanted to go. Now, to me, the Beacon is fine. Like, the Beacon, and don't think of me as complaining, please. The Beacon is fine. Even my husband will be like, but we're kind of beaconed out. It's like after, it's a greasy spoon. It's a real greasy place. And it's good, but you know, sometimes it's like you just get tired of. Now I'm gonna need an extra screw back. Who knows where that bad boy went? Wow, that thing's stuck. Anyway, I don't know, can you guys hear my music? It's Christmas. I was listening to 1950s Christmas music. Alexa, stop! But I'm going to try to get a few more. It's 9:20. Trying to get what I can done. Tomorrow we have, Sissy has an appointment, and so Starlin, we call her Sissy. We have a sis and a sissy, and sometimes Journey is Sissy too, so but trying to remember which way these things go on. And I have to take a package to the FedEx. Oh, and Colleen said she sent Journey a package, so I want to make sure I get by the post office. Maybe we'll just check it on. I'll delete it on here. On Tuesday, I don't know. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. But I have to call and get this guy back up and running. And I told my husband I want to do that while he is here. I said, because I feel like an idiot sometimes. He's like, you shouldn't feel like an idiot. I was like, well, I'm not like, if he wants me, if I have to, because I was reading some stuff and it's like some flash the something, and I'm like, that's over my head. It's where you like have a USB stick and it has to be 32 gigs, and you have to have it empty, which I don't even have a 32 gig empty one, but my husband probably does. And you put these programs, like so many, like, I don't know, I like read through it, so some of these programs, like these 3 programs, and then you get into there and you open it up and then you stick it in some kind of a USB port that's on the motherboard. Over my head, you guys, over my head. So I'd rather have him here with me, you know, to kind of help me through the whole online tech call. I mean, I've done them before, and you know, I was able to remedy any issues that I've had. But why are you not coming through there? I gotta go up and change my laundry. I forgot I was washing my sheets. But I'll be back in a little bit and do our daily devotional. Okay guys, hi! I'm in my jammas and I finished work. I was able to get 3 apron sets with their hats and a shirt done. I got them all done on the Racoma. My Racoma, it works great, guys, except for the thread cutter, and I mentioned this before, and I got it to work, and then, you know, if I could get that to work, I would probably use it way more often. So I found it, like I said, on Amazon, and it's in my cart. So hopefully this right here, hopefully this will work. And yeah, all we can do is try. Anyway, so I'm gonna read my thing. So we know it's from Romans 8:26. 8:26. In the same way that the Spirit helps us in our weakness, we do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groans that words cannot express. So, weak in the knees. I've always said the fiercest love this side of heaven is the love we have for our children. We are the biggest cheerleaders, greatest supporters, and consistent teachers. There are, however, challenging circumstances when we face and can't prevent heartbreaking consequences. And it's at these times we feel helpless, worried, and afraid, unable to do anything but pray. Fortunately, the Lord does not expect us to know how to handle every situation. Instead, He invites us to His throne of grace, encourages us to seek His wisdom, and asks us to wait in eager expectation of what He'll do. In Romans 8:26, Paul encourages us, saying, "The Spirit Himself intercedes for us with inexpressible groanings." This means we don't have to say all the right words. We have a loving Father who hears the intimate cries of our hearts through our wordless groans of His own Spirit. I don't know about you, but this still brings a great sigh of relief, not only as a mom, but as a human. How desperately we need the Spirit's intercessions in every area of life. The carpet in my bedroom is worn out in places, not just because it's old, because I'm weak and my knees hit the floor in prayer there. It's a place I go when my faith is wavering, my mind is circling, and my words are lacking. And there, on threadbare carpet in the middle of my helpless state, the Lord meets me right where I am. His wordless petitions are more powerful than any prayer this mama's heart could speak. What circumstances are you weak in the knees and need to bow before the Father in prayer? Lord, please hear my silent cries of my heart and intercede on my behalf. So that was a good one, talking about how, you know, sometimes our prayers, we know what we want to say, but they don't come out that way. And I think God knows what's in your heart, because God knows you. He knows every hair on your head. So he knows everything there is to know about you. And so sometimes, you know, you don't need to say all the right words. He knows, but knows exactly what you need. And I need this darn machine to be fixed. But what I was going to say earlier is that this has been a very, like, one of those very trying times. And I am not stressed. Like, I think if this would have happened a year ago, I probably would have been torn up crying. And just because, you know, my machine, it's not working, and whatever am I going to do, and woe is me. And my heat press broke, woe is me. So we have to, you know, find alternates and get the job done. I will have to eventually buy a heat press, but one thing at a time. We will get the Melco fixed. That's not gonna, I mean, I have to pay $55 for the over the phone tech call. Yeah, phone tech, phone a friend. But hopefully he can get me back up and my cutter works, and this will be going just fine. I'm still debating on getting this guy out of here and putting the Racoma in here, because I think I'll probably just use it more often than what I do. Once I get that cutter, I know I will. And then trade this guy in and get another Melco, and then the Racoma can go back out there, or, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry it's been a boring weekend, but like I said before, why is my chin red? Probably from my hands. For weekends, for me, for us, like, it's like I do more during the week than I do on the weekends. On the weekends, it's like kick back, laid back, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. Bye. Good morning. Welcome to the vlog. Pam fixed her embroidery machine this morning. But we gotta go to Sissy's appointment. I'm also wearing jeans. I haven't worn jeans in months. Probably since April. So. Hello, everybody. I am just tickled that I fixed it. When I told my husband, I was like, I didn't even cry one time. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I woke up, and I usually wake up before the sun, like right before the sun comes up. So it was probably 6:30ish. I woke up. I lay there. I tried to go back to sleep. I just couldn't. My brain just wouldn't turn off. So I'm like, all right. I grab my phone. I'm like trying to look at it, and I keep the light down really dim so it doesn't wake up my husband, you know. I'm like looking, and I was like, there's a face. That was my stomach. I just ate tater tots. And then I got some in my teeth. There's a Facebook group for the love of Melcos, and so I was like, why didn't I think about looking? So I looked there, and I just searched, you know, Ethernet issues, and then pretty much everyone was just saying what I read online, which was like, flash it. So I came down here, in my pajamas and like took my shirt and lifted it up, and like I didn't have a bra on, and wiggled it and then dropped it back down. I figured it, you know, maybe a couple times might do it. I tried to turn it on and nothing happened. So, boom. Like, I'm just gonna have to flash the hard drive or the whatever it is. So I read about it, and I didn't have a 32 gigabyte stick drive, whatever these are called, USB stick. Hold on. Come on. You're silly. Anyway, so my husband gave me this one, and then we had to reformat it, and I just followed all the instructions. And then we come down here, and I'm like, I can't find out where these files are. And so, he figured it out, got them on there, and I had to, like, my machine is still open. I have to put it back. So we got it, and then you stick your flash drive in one of those ports, and then there's a button in there, and I couldn't find the button, and he had to come down again and help find the button. That sounds funny. And then he held it down for 10 seconds while I turned the machine on, and then we had to wait 3 minutes and then power down, and we powered it back up and it came back on. So I'm like, now I can check if my cutter actually works. And yeah, and so all this stuff going on. I haven't yet tried to turn my heat press back on. I think it's done for anyway, because the timer stopped working on it, and so I don't want to risk it and burn the house down. So, and I think I was like, you know, I'm gonna try to run both the Ricoma and the Melco. I'm gonna get the Ricoma in here. I'm gonna move that out there. I'm going to trade that in and get a new Melco eventually, like this week or next week, or probably in the next month or maybe 2 months, but sometime soon. And then yeah, so if the Ricoma's in here, I'm more likely to use it, so I don't have to run back and forth. I want to fix the cutter on the Ricoma. It was cutting yesterday. I got it to cut, but it didn't continue cutting. It only cut like half the time. So I'm pretty sure there's something going on there. But yeah, these are my goals. But now I have to measure, do a little measuring, put this guy back together. First I'm going to put this guy back together. Then I'm going to measure the Ricoma to see if it'll fit through the door, to see if it'll fit over here, yada yada yada. Hi guys, man, I need to do something with this hair. I tried to dye it that like reddish brown, and it took really good here. It didn't take anywhere else. So I don't like the fact that my hair is two-tone. But anyway, hello everybody. So we are back in action. The cutter works great. It's like having a new machine. Number one, I have gone since day one with my thread rollers stopping. So while it's stitching out, just all of a sudden the thread roller decides it's going to stop, and it usually will, you know, break the thread, sometimes break the needle, and then I have to stop the machine, cut the machine completely off, do another startup, which is not good for your machine. And so every time I'm in the, let me just show you guys this real quick. Every time I'm always in the mindset like, oh my gosh, is it gonna start back up? Let me switch glasses. These ones are stronger, and I just feel like I can work better when doing cutting threads and stuff. But yeah, so I did the flash to it, and after that it worked, and then we had to go to Sterling's appointment, and then we went to the, I didn't film, and it's just, I gotta turn on my iron. it's just because I've already got a lot of content and need to get caught up. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I have a lot of content that I have to get caught up on. Like right now, you guys are... Please tell me that's not... Okay. You guys haven't even made it to October yet, and it is October almost 21st. Tomorrow is Journey's 8th birthday. I haven't even made her shirt yet. I have an idea for it, so I'm hoping I can get it done. If I don't get it done today, for her to wear tomorrow, she'll be okay. And it's not that I didn't want to, you know, get her shirt, but Saturday I was hoping, once I got my cutter and was just really excited and was going to get it all set up, and I was going to make her shirt because, you know, I wanted to test it out. And that's when poo-poo hit the fan and, you know, it quit working. My cutter, I mean, not my cutter, but the machine just went on the fritz. Don't know why. Like, but yeah, as I was saying, it's been, you know, I would have to turn it off, turn it back on, wait for it to all start up. And that is my own fault. It is not Melku's fault. I don't want you to take it the wrong way and think that it's a bad machine or anything like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to buy another one. But after, and I don't even think they know it, but it kept doing it, and he had Windows, I had Windows 7 on my old computer, and that's what I used to run the machine. And it even says you need a Windows 10 or higher. And so I had the old computer, or my new computer was hooked to this Amaya, and I was so afraid to switch, because I'm like, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Am I gonna have to call a technician to get it to work? You know. And so finally I had caught up on my orders enough that if I did it and did have to call a technician, you know, I had that little bit of a grace period. So it switched, what, last week it switched over. No issues whatsoever until sometime Friday night. Something happened, and Saturday morning it just would not. It wouldn't go through the sequence, and there was no light on the keypad. And so everything was saying, you know, it was either one extreme or the other. It was like, either do a flash drive or you're gonna need a new board, and it's like, what, $1,200? I'm like, oh no. Anyway, so back to it. What I was saying is that it has always, my thread rollers have always stopped. And so after so long, they just sent me a new motherboard, and then it continued, and then they sent me a brand new machine, a replacement. They took the old one and they brought me this one, and they took the power cable with it on an accident and didn't leave me a power cable for this one, so they had to actually FedEx me one like overnight in order. Anyway, so I've been, it would be like, it would happen, I know it happened at least once a week. It got to a point where it happened multiple times a night. Sometimes it would happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Turning off the machine, turning it back on, letting it all fire up. And so then sometime, I want to say, I know it was before the 4th of July, my thread cutter stopped working. And so I know it was around the 4th of July and it was slow, and I was going to swap it because I thought the new, it's like, if you update, it'll probably fix it. So I thought I needed to update, but I couldn't update on the Windows 7. Because if I updated on the Windows 7, it did not work. The machine would not work. The technician at the time tried to update to a newer operating system, the latest version or whatever, and it didn't work. So he had to drop me back down to the older version. So it was my own fault. I was using the old version of the software. I had in Windows 7. So, and my cutter just went out. And so replaced the cutter. The cutter works. I'm like, this is like a new machine. This is like, I made this while I was teaching school. I made this shirt. I set it all up, let it go, went upstairs, came down, it's done. I'm like, this is what this is like. I haven't experienced this because the thread rollers would stop. So even if I did set up the machine to stitch out, the thread rollers would stop. Or, you know, and my cutter stopped working. So I'm like, this is a game changer. I don't think the Racoma will fit in here either. I told my husband I need his expertise in measuring, but my measurements, I don't think it will. I don't think it'll get through the door. So, anyway, I'm going to work and get a few more, and I got to somehow design Journey a shirt. She went for the Disney Zombies. It's her favorite show. It's her favorite movie. Her invitations is Disney Zombies. And so I was thinking of, because you can't, you know, find any Disney zombie embroidery stuff, that I would put like the Letterman, like the college font, number 8, and I think I'll do it in like, because her theme is going to be like lime green and pink, because it's hard to find that stuff. So I might do her number in like a lime green and outline it in pink, and put like Seabrook for Seabrook, and then her name underneath. I might put I thought about maybe if I can find some pom-poms in like a megaphone and put it on the side, you know, just to try to make it look kind of like that, because it's a cheerleader and a zombie. And then there's wolves. So I don't know how I would incorporate the wolves, because that's the part that she really likes, is the wolf part. So I don't know. I have to come up with something and be kind of creative. I'll show you guys. If I make it tonight, I'll show you. If I make it tomorrow, I'll show you. I could make it tomorrow because we're going to go out to eat for her birthday and Uncle Brian's birthday. They're born on the same day, 21st. And so we're going to go to Texas Roadhouse. We did this last year too. I'll go to Texas Roadhouse for supper, come home, sing happy birthday. I'm going to make Uncle Brian a peanut butter cake. And I will probably pick up some cake mix and make Journey just some regular cupcakes. That's the plan for now. So tomorrow I don't have to cook. The only thing I have to make is the cupcakes and the cake. And then we're not doing school. I told her she can have the day off. So maybe tomorrow afternoon, after I get the cakes all done, I can come make her shirt if I don't get it done tonight. Hopefully I will. It's 7, and I really only have to make 2 shirts. I have to make this one and that one. But I want to kind of keep going and, you know, keep my momentum going. Hello, everybody. I'm having a allergy attack. And I'm like, I know I've like stirred up some dust, you know, with everything, but I'll show you guys Journey's shirt in just a second. Let me clean it up a little bit here. If my battery flashes, I have a battery. I brought it down like, I don't know, a couple nights ago. I'm pretty sure it's the charged battery. But this is going to be all for today. I actually have to make a ribbon trim. So I had to figure that on. Try to fit that one in tomorrow. Because I don't have to make Journey's shirt now. So here it is. So I'll probably, you know, we have until 6 o'clock when my husband gets home from work. So we don't actually have a lot planned. I kind of wanted to take Journey to a pumpkin patch, but maybe Wednesday, I think. Yeah, I think maybe Wednesday. Or, yeah, it would have to be Wednesday or Friday. My husband has to be to work early on Thursdays and Mondays, so I actually thought about tomorrow, but there's just, I think it'll be just too much going on. And we need groceries, so I'm going to, I also have to pick up Journey's birthday stuff. So let me just get the back on the shirt. I will show you guys. I don't know if I would actually offer this in my shop. Nothing, I mean, nothing, I'm not using any characters or anything, so I mean, it's totally doable. I don't know how popular this theme is, if it even is popular. It's just because Journey has a ban. She's not allowed on YouTube, so she watches a lot of Disney Channel. And so that's where this come in. And I'm just sounding more and more. Whew. I cut a bunch of these Tender Touch yesterday with my roly-poly-oly. My rolling blade, so it would be nice and smooth. And I guess I used them all. Why are you acting? Evan and Belle called earlier. They were shopping for Jern at the Ross, and I know what they got her. It's so cute. It's just so cute. I just love them. So they're gonna meet us tomorrow at the restaurant. Good heavens, we can't have a little ruffle in this because Journey will never wear it. Here we go. It's very iffy if she'll wear it. If you don't know, she's autistic, so and that's what they were asking, because they picked something out and they're like, do you think she'll be okay with this fabric? I said, you know, that's a hard thing to judge, because she's gotten leggings from Children's Place, and there's the same leggings that I've bought before, and there's certain pairs that she can't wear them. They just feel weird and she can't do it. So, I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm hoping she'll be able to wear the shirt. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? So, before we get into it, this shirt is she wanted black. This is a Faded Glory size medium 7/8. She is in a size 6/7. She can wear 7/8, but it just depends on who makes it. Some 7/8s in Children's Place are big on her. Some 7/8s in, other brands are big on her. But some 7/8s fit her perfectly. So it just depends. But of course she's gonna grow, so if I was to put her as a size, I would put her at a size 7. But she's very petite. So size 6s also work too, but I think like size 6 pants would be too small, but size 6 shirts would be fine. But anyway, this was the only black shirt I had that was in either, so let me tell you, I bought this megaphone and these pom-poms. They're 2 different ones. They were in a kit. I say kit, sorry. How do I get? I'm I'm ready to crash. Crash and burn, baby. How do I find my purchases? Anyway, it had the megaphone, it had pom-poms, it had cheer, it had a bow, and it had something else. The word cheer. But it was like a whole little set, and it was like $4. So I just took, they had 2 different pom-poms, so I just put, you know, I wanted it to look like, you know, woo, woo. And then I bought I looked up Letterman number set, and I found this one. And now I didn't like really fully like look over it and everything else. I'm like, oh, looks good, had good reviews. I'm like, okay. When I get it, it's like not even an applique design. It's just a straight up like satin stitch. It doesn't lay down anything. So I had to lay down this so you could see some of the glitter in there, because I had to cut it out after the satin stitch. So if I were to, you know, put this in my shop, I would have to find me a different satin, different number applique set that was, you know, this kind of, I don't even know what, I looked up Letterman, but they called it something, I don't remember. She'll love it. So if you don't know, Zombies is on Disney, and it's the school they go to is called Seabrook. And the reason you do pink and green is because the pink represents the cheerleaders, and then the green represents the zombies. But now they have aliens, and they have werewolves, and it's her favorite. So, and then, you guys ready for it? I pulled this out of the closet. Look how cute. Journey's petite, so this will fit, but she'll definitely need like leggings and stuff underneath. She can wear black leggings, but it's like, I think it's a size 3T or 4T. But I made it to go with my snowman outfit, and so it's like pink and green is perfect. So there we go, bada boom, bada bing. I'm gonna read my little devotional. Let's see if I can get through it in 5 minutes. Can't believe my baby's gonna be 8 tomorrow. Okay, so now this is Be Strong in Grace, 2 Timothy 2:1. Here's 1 Timothy. Orange old Titus. 2 Timothy. Oh, I just lost it now. 2 Timothy 2:1. Have we used all these colors? I think we probably have. I'm going to use the dark blue because out of all the colors, I think maybe that's one I haven't used. Then we have to get back to 2 Timothy. Don't mean to lick my fingers, but sometimes you just gotta lick. Sometimes you just gotta moisten it. 2 Timothy 2:1. It says, "You then, my son, be strong in the grace that is in the Christ Jesus." Okay. It says, We got these stronger ones here. Actually, no, these ones are stronger. Yeah, these are the ones I bought in Myrtle Beach, wasn't it? Yes. I started lifting weights with a personal trainer. Sorry, I just remembered this was on. Man, I don't want to burn the house down. Okay. I started lifting weights with a personal trainer to get healthy and gain strength. When I began my sessions, we joked that I could barely lift soup cans. Clearly, I was very weak and had a long way to go if I wanted to get stronger. It was a humbling experience and a reminder that I don't enjoy feeling weak. We also talked about strength in the Christian life. We want to be strong and courageous like God exhorted Joshua and the Israelites. We want our faith to be strong and move mountains, self-control and taming our tongues as exercises we want to excel in. But how often do we think about being strong in grace? We are called to be strong in grace that is in Christ Jesus. Grace is an immerited gift, not something we can work harder to achieve. For you are saved by the grace through faith, and this is not from yourselves. This is God's gift. Yet a concept that often goes unexplored in our discussions is the strength in the Christian life. Paul's account of his weakness in 2 Corinthians 12:9 is a powerful reminder of the role of grace in our lives. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness." Christ's grace is not a sign of weakness, but a gift we have received to display his power and strength, a gift we should be grateful for and willing to extend to others. We may not enjoy feeling weak, but we can rest assured that Christ's grace is sufficient. We can grow in grace that he offers. How has your weakness allowed God to demonstrate his gracious strength in your life? Sorry, it was hyphenated, so. Father, thank you that I am not alone in my weakness and can be strong in your grace. So that was our Bible or devotional for today, October 20th. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for showing up for me. I appreciate it so much. And tomorrow's Journey's birthday. Don't forget, guys, Jesus loves you. Bye, guys.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Jesus loves you.